Beautiful people, welcome back to our platform and thank you so much for joining today. If you are seeing my face for the very first time, you are highly welcome. My name is Milton. Thank you for joining the Anointed Village YouTuber today to watch his video. Away from academics, I want to tell you a procedure how you can get family reunification visa to join your partner or your spouse in a European country. Which country am I talking about here? I am talking about the newest member of the European Union, which is Romania. Now, before I proceed with this, I want to tell you that there are some countries where you can move abroad with your family or with your wife. Example include the Netherlands, Denmark. Then you also have like Canada, but this is for masters and PhD students. Then you also have other countries like Finland and Portugal, all right? Austria, there are many of them. But in certain countries like Romania, a student cannot move with their family. However, you can always bring in your family to join you. And that is why I am here to talk about the procedure, what you need, the documentation and everything. First of all, who can bring the family to Romania? I am going to be talking and looking at my jotter here so that we actually understand the procedure that you need. Like I said, if you are new, please give this video a thumbs up. Please finger the video for me and do not forget to share this video so that somebody can benefit from the material. Who can bring the partner to Romania is a worker or a refugee. Now, if you are a worker in Romania and you have been to Romania or been in Romania for at least 1 year and working in Romania, then you can always apply for family reunification visa. If you are a refugee in Romania, you can always bring in your partner to Romania and of course apply through the family reunification visa, your partner, your children or your family members. Now, for you to do this process, there are a couple of documents you need to put into consideration and the procedure. Please, I will encourage you to listen to me keenly so you actually understand what you are going to be doing. Equally, how did I get this material? I have a lot of sources I get my materials from. I equally do research on Google. I'm a researcher. I equally check the embassy's website to get most of my information. So relax, do not worry. Anything you get from the Anointed Village Boy, please add it and do your own research. And remember, I always say that if they tell you that you are going to give them money, then go to a different country to sign a working contract, don't accept. It's fake. If they tell you that you are going to be paid 4,500, 5,000 euros, 6,000 Canadian dollars for washing equipment, washing dishes, it's fake. Be careful. Put your money in your bank account and apply for your visas yourself. I can only guide you. I only do one-on-one consultations to people. Like I call them, I tell them, this is what you need to do depending on what you have, the budget you have, the documents you have, and which one is going to be easy looking at it, because you cannot have 5 million and you want to move to Germany. Blocked account to Germany is at least 7 million. That is 11,000 something. Now, who can bring the spouse to Romania? I already told you, a worker or a refugee. If you are a worker and you want to bring your spouse to Romania, please, there are documents you need, and the first important document is your marriage certificate. What do you need to do with the marriage certificate? You have to legalize the marriage certificate. You have to translate the marriage certificate. You have to apostille the marriage certificate. Now, what do you do with it? For example, remember you are in Romania and you are bringing your spouse. Let's assume that you are bringing your spouse from Nigeria or from Cameroon to Romania. First thing first, you need to send your marriage certificate to the Cameroon embassy. If you're a Cameroonian in Romania, or if you're a Nigerian in Romania, send your marriage certificate to the Nigerian embassy in Romania for them to like recognize the certificate. If you do not have the embassy in Romania, you will now send it to the neighboring country. I think Italy is the neighboring country, so you have to send it. For Cameroonians send to Italy because there is no Cameroon embassy in Romania. So as a Cameroonian, you send to Italy, then they will translate it. Okay, they will then do the whatsoever, they will legalize it. They are legalizing it. Then when it comes back, you translate it in Romania, right? When you translate it now, the last stage is the apostille way, where the Foreign Affairs Office have to recognize it. When the Foreign Affairs Office, you will now send it to the Foreign Affairs Office. When they recognize it, the marriage certificate is okay. The next document you need is a statement which says that the person you are inviting is going to come to Romania and live with you. This document must be authenticated because you have written the document with your hand, so you have to make it legal. And the only way you can make it legal is to take it to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, then you get it authenticated. Then another document you need is a copy of the residence permit in the country, the host country. Now remember, before I said if you live here and you work here, you should provide a document at least 1 year. It is the standard. Then if you already on a refugee status, then you need to provide a document. There should be a document for you, so it is needed. They want to be sure of your status in the country before you are bringing in another person. This is very important, so you have to note that. You need a house contract, because definitely if you are to bring anybody into any country, you need a contract to prove that this person actually have a space where they are going to live with you. Of course, you are the one inviting the person, so you need to show that there is space for the person to live with you. You need to show your house contract to actually confirm, so that the immigration can confirm all this information. Remember that you also need proof of funds. Of course, proof of funds has to be available, because you need to show evidence that you have money to take care of this individual who is going to be joining you in the country, and that is the proof of funds I'm talking about. Now you need to get your bank statements from your bank, and this document needs to be at least for 1 year. Remember, before I said you can only bring in your spouse if you are in this country for 1 year. You should have been living here for 1 year, so your bank statement should be for 1 year, because remember I said you should be a worker or a refugee, so your bank statement should be for 1 year, but your pay slips would not be for 1 year. You can supply your pay slips for 3 months. It's good to go. Then another thing you should provide is a copy of your insurance. Well, insurance, they didn't specify, but I believe that you are going to get insurance for 1 year. For all the details, please check the description box so that you get all the information, and also do your research, because things do change. I might say these things now, after 5 months before you notice everything has changed. So put all these things into consideration. But remember, insurance must be there. Then equally, you need a consent form for the person you want to invite. For example, if you want to invite your spouse over, you need a consent form from any one of the family members of your spouse. If your spouse wants to invite you, a consent form from your family member must go to your spouse. All right, they need to see this, and this document has to be legalized to make it legal. So that is what you need to know. Where are you going to do the legalization? Of course, it should be the Foreign Affairs Ministry. That is where I know. Then also remember the passport copy of the individual who is residing in this country. Now remember, if you reside in Romania, of course you have to be the one to send your passport, because you will compile all the documents and submit at the immigration in Romania. Then the immigration will take a look at it. Now while the immigration is taking a look at it, you also need to send the application form. But the application form, you will only get it when you are going to the immigration to submit all the other documents I mentioned here. Then you fill the application form there. Then when you fill the application form, you will submit it to the immigration. Then it takes time, 2, 3 to 4 months. Then the immigration will get back to you. If it's positive, they will then give you a document to give to your spouse back home to apply for the visa and join you in Romania. So basically, this is how the procedure is. It's not the same for other countries. Procedures are different, rules are different, documentations are different. So you need to consider all these things. Money is very important. Documents are equally important. This is the process, especially if you are doing it as a Cameroonian. You have to remember that it must go through. The first and most important document is your official marriage certificate, because they have to verify this to be sure that it was signed by a legal personnel in your home country, and the only person to verify that is the Cameroon embassy in the home country. And since it is not there, you have to then send to the nearest embassy where it can be recognized. I hope this is going to be helpful to you, and please do not forget to share. It's so important. Then for the other videos about studies in here, applying for visa documents, I'm going to bring those videos later on, then we can talk about them. Let's talk about this issue of moving abroad using a work permit, because that's something many people have been asking me, and I think it's time we discuss about this. Guys, look, I will always come here and talk about these things because I know many people don't understand. For you to apply for a visa to go to any country, you need a proof. You need a proof, or how do I put it? You need something to tell the visa officer that this is the reason. You need a reason why you want to enter into that particular country. Do you understand? Now, when you are moving abroad as a student, what is your reason? Your reason is your admissions offer letter from a university abroad. If you want to go on a visit visa, or if you want to visit a family member, you need an invitation letter from the family. If you want to go for tourism, you will have to craft a letter to show the destinations you are going to be visiting and how your visit is going to look like. If you want to go abroad as a worker, you need to apply for a company, then let them accept you, give you a letter, you read the letter, then you sign it and send back to them to confirm before you can now use that letter. It's called an offer letter to apply for the work visa. Now, the reason I'm talking about this, I'm making this video, is for those who keep asking, I want to go abroad using a work visa. I want to go abroad using a work visa. Guys, if you have, take this advice. If you think that you have some money, follow the study pathway. The reason is because most employers abroad, they are looking for workers. But are they looking for any type of worker? No. They are looking for highly skilled professionals, people who are into IT, software developers, computer technologies. You understand? Coders, people who can do coding, people who can do data scientists, data entry people who are into data entry. You understand? This is not what most of us we have who are coming from the broke community. Most of us we just maybe have our high school certificate. Some of us we even have degrees without no work experience. So now tell me, how are you going to get the work visa? Because when you apply, they are going to look at your CV, assess you, and see if you actually have the experience and the qualification to grab those jobs. I see some people, they are like, Milton, farm jobs. Look, guys, this is my advice. If you think you have qualifications, use the academic pathway. The reason is because when you go into these countries, some countries will give you 16 hours, some 20 hours, some 25 hours, some 30 hours to work part-time as a student. Then when you finish your studies, you can now apply for the job visa and work full-time. This is the easiest way to migrate abroad. But if you keep waiting for, I'm looking for a work visa, some people, I don't want to call them, they will manipulate you and take your millions and eat it. At the end of the day, you would remain on the same position. So please be strategic. And it keeps getting difficult to even immigrate abroad. It keeps getting difficult. Be strategic. All right. This is just the information I wanted to give you. I will keep saying these things.